Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama and today I am bringing you Winning with Ease. This is defending against the 1 racks Proxy Marauder rush. So actually it'll turn into a 2 racks, but it starts off with the Proxy Marauder from the 1 barracks, then he adds the second one, and then it just gets a little crazy from there. So surprisingly this actually does a little bit more damage than I thought it would. I was originally sitting there and I would like watch a replay and it's 1 Marauder and 1 SCV attacking. And I was like, that's got to be pitiful. Like, how can that do anything? But it really can actually spiral out of control. Not only that, but if you don't prepare for it continuously beyond that, it will just get even worse for you. So if you just put up like a bunker, throw a couple Marines in there, and then start to tech up or something, you can easily get crushed by it. As 7 Marauders, like once he gets up to like 7 or something, he can just walk in, snipe a bunker in no time whatsoever, walk past it, and then you are really in trouble. So very, very interesting strategy for sure. And it definitely was something that I was like, alright, I need to, figure out how to take care of this. So, there were a couple of things though that made it a lot easier of a reaction and something that you can just think about. Use this knowledge to your advantage on your own, of course. So I'm going to be opening up with a 1 racks FE, and that makes it a little bit harder to hold, of course, because I'm getting my command center down, stuff like that. But when you do get in his base, you will scout that he does not have a barracks anywhere. He just has a gas and supply depot because, well, of course, his barracks is going to be proxied somewhere over here. So that's going to be something that you'll have to kind of take into account and do what you want. Personally, I'm going to go ahead and continue with the 1 racks FE because I don't want somebody to be like, well, you just took the easy way out. You can always defend cheese if you're super safe. That's very true. And so I'm going to not be super safe, but I'm going to be safe enough in the sense that, hey, I don't scout a barracks. Maybe I should just opt to get an early bunker at the top of my ramp because Proxy Marauder rush is something that could definitely be a viability here. Or a viable option. Maybe he's got some sort of proxy Reaper going down, in which case a bunker's not a bad idea to have either, and then he can just spread Marines along the wall that he can jump up. So here I scout that he doesn't have it, so I'm still going to go down here and take my 17 command center. But the only difference is, instead of getting the supply depot at this very instant, instead I'm going to actually pool this SCV and build a bunker at the top of my ramp. I feel like this is a very reliable, safe option if for some reason it's not Proxy Marauder and he just had his barracks hidden right here to try and screw with me or something like that. You know what? I just put down a bunker right here that's not going to kill me. So here I see his Marauder, and the best thing to do at this point is to run away really quickly and grab some SCVs. So I grab 4 SCVs, then I have 2 Marines that I can then push over there with. If he snipes the building SCV of this bunker, go ahead and just grab another SCV and build and set him to build here. So really this is a very, very easy hold right there at that start. So initially okay, but now he's going to have 2 Marauders, so I need to be a little bit more careful. And what I do is I cancel that barracks and I throw down extra barracks. This is actually very important. I also pull some SCVs here for repairing purposes because right now you're going to find that if you do not start throwing down early barracks at this point, it's just going to put you in a bad situation because then all of a sudden you're not going to be able to be just constantly making these Marines that you need to make in order to really defend this, right? So in a tiny bit of time, he will have a very large Marauder force. As you can see, he already has as many Marauders as I have Marines right now, if not a little more, because he's on 2 racks, and I'm simply building off this 1 racks. So double racks production worth of Marauders is much greater than single racks production worth of Marines. So that's why I add 2 more barracks on at this point, so now I can start really pumping out Marines. I continue to add some bunkers here at the front, and that's really going to be helpful for me because that'll allow me to get out a lot more Marines to defend this, which is so important because not only do you want Marines in all these bunkers, but you want to have Marines that you can then start putting behind all of this and stuff. And trust me, I did it with 2, and look, right now, had I not gone with the extra bunkers and had I not gone with the extra barracks right here for Marines, I would only have like 5 Marines versus the 7 Marauders that he had, and that's not going to help. Even with repair, you are going to be in so much trouble. But here I can actually just trap him against the wall. He's not going to really be able to kite or move anywhere because I do just move out and get him right there. And so now, of course, I can start moving in again, and Marauders are so strong they can run just right past all this stuff. So you have to really be careful. And once he gets past, if he gets past with a good number, you're really going to be in trouble. As he can just kite you all the way around, and you won't be able to really do enough damage to him. But I am able to do some damage with them in the fact I'm actually throwing down a barracks back here, just continue adding on Marines. Any GGs right here, but we're going to still play it out just for the fun of playing it out. So once again, throw down another bunker. If for some reason you don't need this bunker, you know what? You can just salvage it for later. You know, you can just get more money, more minerals, and you'll be completely fine. So at this point, as you can see in the supply counts, I am well ahead. There was, you know, it was completely fine to go ahead and pull those SCVs early on to deal with it. I lost a couple there. Let's see, yeah, one. Okay, so I lost one. Not a huge deal. But I was able to secure the bunker, which really is important. Get the bunker up, get barracks up quickly, right? So cancel that command center down there and throw up some barracks pretty much immediately as soon as you can, because that's going to be very important. Huh, didn't know that rally was set right there. Okay, so after this, I'm just getting gas, and I'm just going to kind of transition into moving along, right? So just continuing to make some Marines. I'll go ahead and secure an orbital, or get a command center here fairly shortly. I'll go ahead and speed this up a tiny bit. At this point, I try and use some Marines to go ahead and harass up here with this 5th. And by the time I get there, okay, he's got some Marauders. So the good news is, at the very least, I can go ahead and lift off this barracks right here and use it for scouting purposes. Kind of check out exactly what he's got going on in this base. And in the meantime, of course, back home, I'm just continuing to make Marines. Gonna start teching up, get a factory, get an engineering bay, in case he decides to transfer to some Banshee. I mean, I can see exactly what he's doing right here. I see, oh, there's a command center, yada, yada, yada. So at this point, I'm going to start pushing over with Marines, try and do some damage, try and kind of scare him at least, put him in a very defensive position, while I take up 2 starport and get my medevacs out. As well, I'll go ahead and get Stim fairly soon, I believe, and it's probably with the next 100 gas. And then I'll be pretty fine. Yeah, so now I have Stim, so then I can line that up for time later. So here I push over with Marines, and here's something that I really want to focus on. Do not force it, right? So there is no reason to attack into this right here. I mean, it could still be kind of close, but why even bother, like, really sacrificing? If I attack into this, and for some reason I don't win, which there's actually a decent chance I wouldn't, because then he can just drop back into these bunkers building behind himself, I just lost, you know, 25 Marines right there. Suddenly the game's evened up a lot more than it should. He's got his 3rd orbital as well, and suddenly it just puts me in this terrible position. So I'll see a lot of players do that, where they just try and go for the silly engage, right? So I'm ahead. I'm ahead by 34 supply. Don't throw that away. Instead, come back here, just switch these bad boys out, get some reactors, or get some medevacs, get my +1, start getting siege tanks. Just, you know, continue moving on, take my expansion, whatever it is. So at this point, definitely don't throw the game away. You know what? Chill out here and make him a little bit defensive. Make him pull SCVs down here to come down for repairing. And of course, when you get back home, you can just continue to make stuff. I go ahead and add on a lot of barracks. You can actually just make a 4th base. I feel like this is a lot of production for the 2 bases that I do have, and only 36 workers. So, and then of course I'm going to land the barracks that I had over there as well. But yeah, so that's a lot of production. I don't think I can quite keep up with all of it at the time, but I'm able to produce a decent amount off of it. So I would actually recommend taking a 3rd base, but at this point it doesn't matter too much. I'm still going to be able to go over there, and now I can head over to start doing a big hit. One, I could go for a siege up if I want to, and notice as well that I do have a watch on that watchtower to kind of see where he's at. And then I can also as well go into his main, siege up, do some damage right there, and then swing around into the natural and finish him up right there. So very, very easy. Once you are in a great position right there, just make sure you're not, you know, if he has 5 bunkers or a couple tanks and 3 bunkers, whatever right here, there's no reason to try and push in and force your way through. Come back home, take a 3rd, or go for like a little drop in the back, whatever it is, but do something else besides trying to just suicide yourself to win the game. So that's pretty much going to be it, I think, for this game right there. It's not too crazy of a hold if you react. And the reaction that I was actually going to be saying was, I'm not sure if I told you the other reaction. So if you get over there and you scout that he doesn't have a barracks in his base, if you just come home and immediately build a barracks, or a bunker, and then another barracks and a supply depot at home, you will be able to hold this so easily, because this bunker will basically be up by the time the first Marauder even gets there. And then you can just start putting Marines right into the bunker. And from your 2 racks, You'll have a decent amount of Marines. You can throw down a third Rex if you'd like, throw down another bunker, and then you're completely fine. You can start teching up from there. So really, that's the easiest. Ooh, look at that queue up. Yum, yum, yum. End of the game queues. It's because I thought I had more tech labs. Huh. Well, that's where all my resources went. Yeah, so you can just start teching up and just moving on from there. But if you still want to continue with the WinRX FE, because you know what, maybe it's just hiding the barracks to be tricky, go ahead and put it down there. So episode 50 is coming up next, and hope to see you guys over in that one. Hopefully it'll be a good one. My name's MrLlama. Thank you for watching.